Hello, everyone. Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. For this Tuesday, August the 7th, 2018, I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm glad you could be here today with me. You know, I know you could have been anywhere in this place, anywhere in this earth, I should say, anywhere in this earth, but you decided to be here with me, and I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So thank you for joining us for Transition Tuesdays. As Karen has joined us. What's up, Karen? What's going on? We got Karen here. And Transition Tuesdays. I'm glad you guys can make it. And we got a lot to talk about. Lots of things to talk about. But I'll be remiss if I don't mention off the bat, as we have Annette joining us. What's up, Annette? What's going on? And I will be really remiss if I don't mention, before we begin today, our hearts and prayers go out to those who are affected in the California wildfires that's going on now, which seems like these are the largest wildfires in the history of the state, of the history of California. So our hearts and prayers go out to those people affected. Also, hearts and prayers, go out to those affected in Chicago, whereas last weekend, there were over 66 people were shot and over 12 people who passed away. So our hearts and prayers go out to those people affected in Chicago. I know, it's these senseless shootings and the senseless killings, there's a lot of stuff going on, but our hearts and prayers go out to those people affected by what's going on throughout the world. This is crazy, but we're thinking about these people. So I'll be remiss if I didn't mention them off the bat before we begin Transition Tuesday. So, hey, like I mentioned before, there are lots and lots of things to talk about today. Lots and lots of things to talk about. So we're going to do just that. So let's do this. Let's transition, as we do here in Transition Tuesday. Let's transition to the tweet of number 45, discrediting Don Lemon and LeBron James. So let's talk about that briefly. Let's talk about that. And, it's really crazy because, if you joined us last week, we talked about how LeBron James was able to start a school, the I Promise School in Akron, Ohio. This is a well-celebrated event, from a monumental standpoint in terms of an athlete giving back to his community. And, you would think it'd be a great event had by all, and, celebrating achievements, celebrating knowledge for the kids, especially somebody giving back in their community as a superstar as LeBron James has done. But now you got the tweets of number 45, in which he tweeted on August the 3rd. So he basically waited like 4 to 5 days after the event of LeBron James coming out with the school. But he tweeted at 11:37. And that's kind of alarming to me. 11:37, this man is tweeting about LeBron James and Don Lemon, which just seems very weird to me. As Spade joins us and as Chris joins us, what's going on? What's going on, guys? But that's kind of strange to me. A tweet 11:37 p.m. by number 45. I don't get that. First of all, off the bat, as they say in the hood sometimes, off the rip. I don't understand that. First of all, why is he tweeting at 11:37? Maybe before he's going to bed. So he has on his mind Don Lemon and LeBron James on his mind, first of all. That's the first thing. Second thing, as Alicia's watching us chew. Hey, Alicia, what's going on? And, that's the first thing that seemed rather odd to me. Maybe it's odd to you as well. But the second thing is, First Lady. Where was she? Like, where was the First Lady at during this time? We're going to talk about the First Lady, too. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. It's kind of weird. But here's how the tweet went. It said, LeBron James was just interviewed by the dumbest man on TV, Don Lemon. Okay, that's the first one. The dumbest man on television, Don Lemon. He made LeBron look smart, which isn't easy. I like Mike. Okay, so this was a tweet by number 45, the President of the United States, tweeting at Don Lemon and tweeting about LeBron James. I tell you, I don't know. Well, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into all of that. But I like to go over the tweet that Don Lemon responded, with a tweet of his own, which was rather clever and unique. Don Lemon said, "Who's the real dummy? A man who puts kids in classrooms or one who puts kids in cages?" Hashtag Be Best, which is the initiative of the First Lady, which is building character. So that was Don Lemon's response to that particular tweet. As LP Lenny Pitt is joining us. What's up, LP, my man? So, kind of weird what's going on with this particular tweet with LeBron James. And Geronimo Buthero from Spain is joining us too. Welcome, sir. So, this is kind of weird and strange to me. Maybe it might be strange to you. Maybe we could talk about it. But, this comes from, a long line of tweets by the president attacking the IQ of black people. Let's face it. He has checked the, he's been trying to check the IQ of black people, which is crazy in this country. Let's start with the first one. When the president once upon a time attacked Maxine Waters, who was the Democratic representative in the state of California, he said that she had a very low IQ. That's off the front, from the beginning. Then in 2011, number 45, he questioned the intelligence of the President Barack Obama, saying that he was a terrible student. And he questioned how he could have been accepted to Columbia University and Harvard Law, in which both schools, incidentally, he graduated from. But here you have the president, number 45, questioning the IQ of these particular people. Whereas he requested, he insulted the intelligence of Don Lemon and insulted the intelligence of LeBron James, which is weird. So, it seems like he has this pattern going around in which he's attacking the IQ of black people in this country. Now, the funny thing about it is, it seems like he only attacks black and brown people of this country. There wasn't a peep from him when you had Greg Popovich, ripped the president. You didn't hear a peep from the president, and you didn't hear a tweet from the president. How about when Eminem ripped him a new one, on video? You didn't hear anything from the president, not a peep from the president, not a tweet from the president when he did that. And also when Steve Kerr did that, the coach of the Golden State Warriors, he got into the president. But again, you don't hear anything for the president attacking those people, whereas his MO, his motive, his pattern has been to attack black and brown people in this country, which is really crazy, So, do you think that number 45 why does he continue to disrespect black and brown people? That's the question I have for the masses. And if you guys want to join in, I welcome, you guys joining in, which would be great. You don't hear a peep from him when other people attack, And, I've been watching shows saying like the president only attacks those who attack him first. Well, that wasn't the case with Eminem, and that wasn't the case with Greg Popovich, and that wasn't the case with Steve Kerr. You know what I mean? But, he just goes in the attack of black and brown people, and I just put the question straight up to everybody. Is number 45 a racist? Like he's showing these, racist tendencies that he's doing towards black and brown people. I mean, the evidence, the proof is in the pudding once we see it there, and I'm really from the belief that number 45, he's really with the divide and conquer strategies, in which, he wants to divide the country and, he wants to conquer it by championing for his home base. Divide and conquer. What I mean by that is, like the tweet that he said, like, I like Mike, obviously he's trying to be diverse towards, a particular race. Like, he probably wants like LeBron James to comment on that. And I'm going to talk about the Michael Jordan, his side of it, his take on it as well. But, it seems to be very divisive. And the great thing I love about LeBron James, and I like to talk directly to LeBron James, hey, keep doing what you're doing, what you're doing for your community and communities of the, African American communities, is great what you're doing. my advice to you would be, Mr. James, LeBron James, or King James, is, take the high road in this whole initiative there. As Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. So take the high road in this initiative. Like Don Lemon said, don't be a pawn in this game, in this political game that the president is trying to partake in for us to divide people, especially in sports now, and at the highest level. So don't be that pawn in that game, King James, you know what I mean? And, that's what I have to say about that, which is very important. But I want to, get your take on it, everybody out there. What do you think? You think number 45, is he acting like a racist here, with all these comments and viewpoints and everything? And I have my theory on why he's doing this personally. We're going to go over that too. But, I want to get your take on it too. And, LeBron James, take the high road in this. You know what I mean? Because all this is kind of like, he wants to set it up to, to get you involved with this process. And, but take the high road. Take the high road. And another great thing about LeBron James, is he's coming out with a docuseries called Shut Up and Dribble. Shut Up and Dribble. So here's a guy who is taking, the negative that was said, that Shut Up and Dribble comment by Laura Ingraham. He's flipping that and changing it to a positive narrative, and he's coming out with a docu show that's going to deal with politics, social issues, sports as well. Shut Up and Dribble. That's going to be the title of it. So, what I say is, I applaud to LeBron James for flipping that narrative. And now Laura Ingram's going to have to just shut up and watch. And, she will be watching, and number 45 will be watching too. So, again, that's my question to you guys. What do you think your take on this? That seems to be the narrative on number 45, to attack brown and black people, in terms of intellect, IQ. He has that track record of doing that. And whereas, if other people talk about him, you don't hear a peep from him. That to me, that comes off as being like having those racial tendencies. He's a habitual racist, stepper. Just like in the God Rest the Dead, Charlie Murphy. Habitual line stepper. He seems to be a habitual racist stepper. In terms of what he does and what he tweets out there. So, but I want to get you guys' take on that. So, yeah, man, we're gonna talk about that and go with that too. As it's really hot. It's getting hot. It's hot out here in New York City. It's hot as fish grease out here, and things are about to get hotter. What's going on with different things and different aspects. And, but I just want to get you guys' take. And, and I want to talk about, I want to really talk about that, LeBron, not LeBron, but Michael Jordan, how he kind of responded to the tweet. He had a representative, respond to the tweet that the president left, and I want to talk a little bit about that, which is very important and something I hope that's not missed in all of this, And a little ironic thing about Michael Jordan and number 45. If you guys remember out there a long time ago, when Michael Jordan retired and he came back, he wore the number 45, right? Our President Trump, he is the 45th president. A little ironic, maybe. I don't know. I know it's conspiracy theory here, but it's just saying it kind of seems a little ironic. And, and also, which seems to be kind of troubling for me, and I want to get your thoughts on it too, is, when this tweet came out about that and saying how he liked, how the president, I like Mike, just trying to stir up that conversation. We have that barbershop banter as it is, who's better, LeBron James or Michael Jordan, what I mean? So the president kind of stick a little needle there. He knows that, LeBron, that might be a little stick in his craw. So don't go for it though, LeBron, don't go for it. But, I just want to just address like the words that Michael Jordan had. He left through his spokesperson, about the tweet with the president. He says that he supports LeBron James and he's doing an amazing job for his community. So a couple of things, and let's unpack this. A couple of things is, why, Michael Jordan, like, why are you, instead of you having a spokesperson come out about it, why aren't you, leaving a statement about it? Now, I know, in the past, Michael Jordan has been, he just wants to keep politics out of it, because Michael Jordan is famous as saying that, Democrats and Republicans, they buy sneakers too. Democrats and Republicans, they buy sneakers. So I know he likes to get out of the political fray of it all. But, I just it's kind of troubling to me how, he have a representative speak for him on his behalf. That's the first thing. Second thing is about, the statement, his community. Now, is he talking, is this person talking about like LeBron James' community in Akron, Ohio? Or does he mean like his community being like our community? Because, LeBron James' community represents everybody's community, people of color, I believe, in my opinion. So I think that Michael Jordan has to come out with his own statement. I think that'll be very much, better for everything and to give us more clarity because, LeBron James community is our community as well. You know what I mean? So with this statement, it just says his community. I'm assuming that means LeBron James, Akron, Ohio community, whereas it should be, amongst the masses should be, to change that narrative from his community to our community. So, I would love for Michael Jordan to come out with some clarity and come out with your own statement, Mike, MJ, come out with your own statement about what you think about this, because this is very important, very important. And again, he, on the same wavelength as LeBron James, MJ, don't take the bait, you know what I mean? Because that was clearly, his name was clearly added, to that tweet, to cause some division between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. We talk about it all the time. So again, it's that divide and conquer. I think everything is well calculated what the president was trying to do, but MJ, don't take the bait on that. Just like how LeBron is taking the high road, you could do the same thing. But we would like to have for you to come out with your own statement about how you feel about this situation. I think this is very, very important, especially in this day and time. This is very, very important. So MJ, come out, give us something, okay? Yeah. So, that's good to unpack that. And, and throughout this whole thing, I talked about the first lady earlier, now you have the first lady from representatives in her camp coming out and saying, she would consider visiting the I Promise school. I don't know about that. I mean, I know the president has a lot on his plate and he's dealing with a lot of stuff. And, more importantly, he has to answer to his, to the first lady, because now it seems like the first lady is on, LeBron James's side. But that could be a ploy as well there, too. So, LeBron, King James, don't buy into that. Hey, maybe you might just say thank you, but no thanks on that. You know what I mean? Because you just never know. It could be, everything could be a ploy. So just stay away from that. But I find it rather, interesting that, now the first lady has come to the aid of LeBron James. I remember there was an incident in which she's flying on a plane, and I think only, the president watches Fox. And she had on CNN, maybe she was checking for Don Lemon, the journalism, some intelligent journalism with Don Lemon, and, the president said, hey, look, you got to turn that off. But apparently they said she can watch anything she wants. But hey, who knows what's going on with that? I just find it weird and bizarre, going back to when we originally talked, how the president has these people on his mind with his other agendas to really take care and look at. It's just crazy to me, you know what I mean? And the president got to answer to the American people, but he also has to answer to his wife. So, something's going on there. Some crazy is going on there. I think personally, I think that's just nuts, So, I say this, I say all that, guys, to say this to my transition army, to the transition army out there. We got to be aware, because everything that we're seeing from number 45, okay, this is a distraction to the American public, and it distracts you from the major issues that's going on out here in society, which is the Paul Manafort trial. and the Mueller Russian investigation. So all of this here that you're seeing there, guys, Transition Army, this is just a distraction, just to distract us. We're over here with this news and everything. It's just causing a distraction about the real issue, which that Paul Manafort case, which is, and I think that can be tied to the Russian, Mueller Russian investigation too. So I say this, Transition Army, and I say this, and I try to say this as loud as clear. Don't be distracted. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, okay? Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be distracted, okay? Very, very important. And the banana in the tailpipe, the reason I say that is, for all those Beverly Hills Cop fans out there, when Eddie Murphy had that movie, it was a time in which Eddie Murphy was running from the police and he put an actual banana in the tailpipe. The car stalled. Next time the cops stopped and they say, hey, look, we're not going for the banana in the tailpipe again. You know what I mean? So I say this to you guys. One of my favorite movies, Beverly Hills Cop. Don't be distracted. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Okay? This is all a distraction. And I'm willing to be on record to say this. You're going to see even more distractions, from the main issues, which is that trial, Paul Manafort trial, and the Russian, Mueller Russian investigations. I'm seeing, what the president does, and they do a good job in which distracting us. I can see that, now the distraction is the LeBron James and the Don Lemon and the IQ, with the IQ situation. I would not be surprised if you now see tweets coming up with the black clergy that just visited the White House, and I could just see the president to cause another distraction. I could just see him putting out something saying like, hey, look, you're going to call me a racist. I can't be a racist. I just had a meeting with the black clergy and everything went well. So that could be another distraction. So be prepared for that, because there are going to be more distractions coming out here, more and more distractions. So again, I plead with you, Transition Army, okay? Spread the word. We're not going to be fooled for the banana in the tailpipe. We're not going to be distracted for the overall goals of what's going on here in this country. Don't be distracted. Get that banana from the tailpipe. Get that situation out of there, okay? We're not going to be distracted. That's my Transition Army. That's what we do. We won't be distracted. So spread the word on that, Transition Army. Spread the word about that. We're not gonna be distracted by that for that banana in that tailpipe. We ain't going for that. We ain't going for that. But I want to get your viewpoints on it as well too, guys. What do you guys think about that? Major distractions. There are going to be more distractions on our way coming, kind of try to distract us for the, what's really going on out here. So just be aware of that. You heard that here first on Transition Tuesdays, okay? You heard that here first, because there's going to be more to come, as they get closer and closer to a resolution about that trial for Paul Manafort and, the Mueller investigations when those come up. Those are the real issues. Everything else is the sideshow, everything else is the sideshow. So don't get caught up in that. So, so let's do this, guys. Let's transition, as we do all the time here on Transition Tuesdays. Let's transition to the transition quote I have for you guys. And I love for you guys to take this transition quote and, apply it to your everyday lives. And, that's what I do. That's why I try to bring that out, that transition quote, something you can take with you on your journey, any transition that you might be going through. So here's how this one goes. The quote is, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Okay, I want to repeat that because that's very important. Okay, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And this is quote by Mr. Jim Robb. And very well said. Change and transition is all about change and not the chance. So, change, movement, all that's involved in your transition. Being the change that you want to see is important. Things don't happen by chance. Things happen by change. And that's what that's what happens with your transition. Any transition that you might be going through. It goes about that and it talks about that. So, hey guys, we talked about a lot of things. And I opened it up for discussion, more discussion with us, We talked about, not being distracted, by, what's going on out here. We talked about, the number 45 question, always, disrespecting the black and brown people of this country. By questioning IQ, you go straight to the IQ on that. It's just a matter of us not being distracted. What's going on, what the real issues are, what's going on with that. So, it's very important that we don't be distracted on that. What's going on, what the real issues are. So, again, I'm here to warn you guys, going to be more and more distractions before they come close to what's going on and what's the real deal that we're going to be looking at. So distractions were going to be coming. But the one thing I want you guys to remember, very important, if you remember one thing from our discussion here today on transition, okay, on Transition Tuesdays, the one thing I want you to understand and realize is do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I might have to hashtag that, banana in the tailpipe, So we're not going to fall for that transition army. We're better than that, But just be warned that more distractions are going to come, before we get to the truth of the matter, what's going on with this number 45 in office. So, I'll say that to you guys. So, hey guys, like I always say to you guys, if I made you laugh, if I made you smile, and if I made you think, I think I'm doing my job. And, that's the job that I try to provide, here on this platform with Transition Tuesdays. I want to make you laugh, want to make you smile, and more importantly, I want to make you think every time that, that you tune in. So Transition Army, I'm glad you guys joined us today. We're going to have new followers and everything, so I'm glad you guys, my faithful, listeners and viewers, I shout out to you. I salute you, being part of the Transition Army. And as we always say in parting, happy transitioning. And before I forget, oh man, I'm going to have a special announcement. Just look for the special announcement that I'm going to have for you guys, our Transition Army. I'm going to have a special announcement that I'm going to make for next week's broadcast of Transition Tuesdays. But listen out and look out for that special announcement I'm going to have for our Transition Army. So look out for that. So as we say in parting, as I always say, happy transitioning, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.